Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday, December 22nd. I have a very quick video for you on EIDL grants that are back in the new stimulus package. I'm going to go over who might be eligible for EIDL grants finally, whether that's $1,000 or the full $10,000. So I'm going to talk about the language in the bill here. Here's part of the bill. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to give a quick update on yesterday's video when I talked about PPP funding and the second round of PPP funding and who's eligible, and a very quick overview of the stimulus package. Thank you so much everyone for subscribing and supporting our channel. If you've been following us, you know for 10 months we've been covering stimulus news. We finally have good news. So today, I might do another video later today, and when this gets signed into law by the president today or tomorrow, I might do some more updates. Bottom line is there's going to be a lot of news and a lot of questions that you have in the coming days and weeks. How do I get the EIDL grants? How do I get the stimulus checks? Do I need to do anything different? And PPP funding, etc. So we will cover all of that, and if you leave a comment, I will try to answer your questions as well. So give this video a like, and feel free to share this video with someone who could use the help. I'm going to talk about the EIDL advances and grants. In this video, just want to show you, here is the legislation. If we do a search here, you can see 5,593 pages. I didn't read all of them like I did with the HEROES Act. I read most of the HEROES Act. I think that was late summer when I wanted to call attention to the HEROES Act and get that passed. But I took a look in detail at the EIDL sections, PPP sections, stimulus sections. First thing I want to mention to you is we've covered all of this on the Skip blog, and it's also on the Skip app. Hello Skip in the App Store and Google Play, including yesterday's overview of PPP funding, how to get it. One note on the PPP funding, it's just a point of clarification that's been changed at the last minute. Businesses must have a 25% reduction in gross receipts. In earlier text of the bill, it was 30%. So this is going to help a number of you now that it's 25% reduction between Q4 this year and Q4 2019. And finally, we just put this up today where we go over direct payments, the PPP funding, the unemployment supplement, eviction moratorium, vaccines, food assistance, etc., etc. The major funding buckets is all in our latest blog post here as well. So even if you're only thinking EIDL, there's a lot of other stuff in there. I'd encourage you to take a quick look. The last thing I want to say before I talk about who can apply for EIDL advances now, because there's two possible scenarios here, I'm going to go over both of those scenarios, is we are doing free trackers again, both for small businesses and individuals, so you can track EIDL advance progress, stimulus progress, and PPP progress. Those are all going to be on the app for free. It's all based on self-reporting data. We had hundreds of thousands of people use these in the first go around. Watch until the end of this video because I have a brand new feature that's going to help you that we are releasing today. EIDL advances. Okay, you are eligible for the full $10,000 EIDL advance, even if you already got $1,000 or $2,000 in the first go around. If these two things here, if you are located in a low-income community and you have suffered an economic loss of greater than 30%. And the big question here is, what's a low-income community and are you in one? So we looked at the text in the legislation, and we've seen this in other bills as well. It is a bit confusing. It's based on Section 45D of the IRS code. Basically, a low-income community is, number one, if you are in an area where the poverty rate is 20%, that's the first one, or if you are in an area where the median family income is 80% of the median family income in the state. So if your area, and that's sometimes defined as the county or as a metro area or as a census tract. So frankly, we haven't seen any easy tool online that helps you calculate this. If you know of one, we'd love to hear. I'm going to look later today to see if there is an easy way to look up whether you are in a low-income community or not, besides these general guidelines from the IRS. So stay tuned for that if I do find a tool online that you can use, because I suspect that more people than we think may qualify as being in a low-income community. So if that's the case, that's great news for many of you. Again, it basically means your area, however that's defined, has a 20% poverty rate, or the median family income is 20% less than the, say, state median income. subscribe, and if we find a tool later today or tomorrow, I will do another video and include it in that video as well. I will also add it to the notes. Okay, so if you qualify for this low-income community EIDL Advance, and if your business has an economic loss of 31% or more, so it's greater than 30%, and your business does not employ more than 300 employees, you would be eligible to the full $10,000 EIDL Advance. Here's how you calculate the time period, okay? So the amount by which the gross receipts of the covered entity declined during an 8-week period, so choose an 8-week period, between March 2nd, 2020 and December 31st, 2021. So this is going to be valid through 2021. So, you may want to jump on it right away if you can, because a lot of this is first come, first serve. But it's important to keep in mind, you do have time, okay? If there are other important things going on in your life, you have time to apply for this. So the second thing here, emergency EIDL grants, that's separate than the low income grants for businesses that have suffered who are in low income areas. Emergency EIDL grants, many of you received these in the first go around. Of course, we were all disappointed that it wasn't the full 10,000, maybe 1,000, 2,000, but basically it was 1,000 per employee. You count as an employee, by the way, if it's just you as a sole proprietor or if you have a side hustle. And many of you took advantage of that. If you had any side income at all, you hopefully would have gotten $1,000. Anyway, we did lots of videos on that. As of now, you would not be able to get more EIDL grants. Okay, there's no double dipping. This section is mainly geared towards if you haven't already received an EIDL grant. But, and this is a big but, the SBA has 15 days to clarify the rules once this is signed into law. So let's say President Trump signs this into law tomorrow, Wednesday. The SBA will have 15 days to clarify the rules and regulations. And as we saw in the first go around, the rules changed quite a bit. So we may see further guidance here based on how the SBA interprets this legislation. So stay tuned for that. I will update you as soon as we know for sure. Again, it looks like if you already received 1,000 or 2,000 and you don't qualify as being in a low-income community, you will not be able to get more EIDL funding. But I'll end with the good news here. Of course, 600 direct payments is better than nothing, even though many of us are being critical that it's too little, too late. $600 direct payments, which, according to Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, will start to be sent out next week. Okay, that assumes that the president signs this into law, etc. But if that's the case, which everyone expects, these will start to go out next week, which will be great news. The calculations are similar to the first go around in terms of if you'll get the full 600 or part of the full 600, or 1,200 if you're filed jointly, or more if you have dependents, 600 per dependent child. Now, we will have a calculator, a stimulus calculator on our app as well. It'll be free. You'll be able to quickly see how much you could qualify for. So download the Skip app if you haven't yet, because we are announcing this today right here in this YouTube video first before anyone else sees it. We will have a vaccination progress tracker on the app. So basically when you download the app, you'll be on the dashboard. You'll be able to see track vaccination progress as a recommended service. And you will be able to fill out a few pieces of information about yourself, such as whether you are a healthcare worker, essential worker, high-risk individual, etc. And you'll be able to see your relative positioning based on CDC guidelines, okay? So based on what CDC recommends, we can show you generally how many people will be ahead of you. And we will also update this weekly at least in terms of how many people have been vaccinated. So you can see relative progress, so you can have a general sense of how close you may be to getting vaccinated. Again, it's for illustration purposes, but our main goal is to always give peace of mind. You can report with us once you've received your vaccine or if you are still waiting. We are really excited about this, and I'm very happy that we can share this and announce it with our YouTube channel first. So many of you have been supporting us for so long. If you're new to our channel, please hit subscribe. And once you add the reminder, you'll see it on the badges tab on the app. Again, we have lots of other reminders, by the way, too. Feel free to take a look at, including TSA PreCheck, which we're doing a big push for, because our recommendation is, hey, if you are going to travel by air in 2021, you should absolutely get TSA PreCheck if you haven't yet. It will reduce your exposure risk at airports substantially, right? Keeping everything on, keeping your bags packed. It will help a lot, but there's a lot of other things that you may want to take a look at on the app. This will be fully live soon, so if you go to the app and you don't see it yet, it's because it hasn't fully deployed across the country. But It is going live very soon, so download the app. I believe this is the first vaccine tracker that exists. Love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you have questions about, broadly speaking, the stimulus package, or specifically the EIDL stuff I've just talked about, leave a comment. I'll try to answer as many as I can. As always, stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow.